Hey, Jean. Jeanne. Hello. Welcome. Peggy Hoop. Who's Peggy Hoop? Where are you from, Jeanne? Colorado? I think you're near Michael Cavanaugh then. I think. It might be Arizona. Nope, he's in Colorado. Balua. His ranch looks pretty nice. You've been wanting to visit? The earthquake they said was in Nevada, right? Mojave? So I guess you probably wouldn't have felt the earthquake in Colorado. We felt it here. We were just swaying. I was rumbling for like a minute, and then we kept swaying. Was that it? Like a minute?
I think it felt like a minute, but it's probably less. I don't know. It's hard to tell what time when it's like that.
All right.
But yeah, less, a minute or less.
Uh-oh. More earthquakes? Probably. Who else is here? Jean, a few other people. Uh-oh, someone's reneging a friendship. But why? I need friends. They redacted their friendship. If that is okay with you, it may have been organized that way from higher negative forces. Wakey up, you call. Yeah, that's what Andrea said too. What did you say about the earthquake? She said something like, it felt like a bit of releasing. What's happening? Who's where? Zoopet, where are you? Do we have any conversation topics? I don't have much to talk about. Oh, no, I do have something to talk about. Let me find it. I do indeed have something to talk about. Oh, it's Becky. What's up, Becky? It's been a long time. We should get together. I'll have to remember that's you, Zoopet. Are you free today, Becky? You want to get together? Have a coffee or something? I'm going to be in town at some point. I don't remember if I still have... Do I have your number? Hold on. Gelly? Jelly? Well, I'm not sure if that's your... You probably have my email. Email me. How do we... You should still have my phone number. That's you, Becky Gelly. Okay. I'll text you. Og says, can you feel it? The sea is clear. Anyway, Og was saying... What was he saying? Someone mentioned him and Rory in a tweet about... I don't know how to find it. Okay, I found it. It's roage.com. ROAGE.com. But it was hashing out... he made something called a cheat sheet, Mark V. But he hashes out pretty concisely how to view our position, our predicament here. So visit roage.com and read his information or his material if you're interested. It's pretty good. You'll be back tomorrow. Okay. Yep. A lot of it has to do with what we call reality. It's all about words we use. We use words that trap us. All of our words trap us. Of course, if you can see beyond that initial mind contraction, which of course takes a really long time to see past. But if you can see past that, then you see that words are a bunch of bullshit. But they also, in a sense, create the physical, subjective scene that you're witnessing out your eyeballs. In a sense, the words are like little marker points for how to get the physical body moving in a certain direction. But if you use it for more than that, then you can paralyze yourself. Probable. It's very probable. Can't lie with light language. Yeah. Yep. I remember part of the weed experience was it involved me going very deep into what the language thing was actually doing inside of us. Because we just sit here and use words so simply as if it's just, a nothing. And it's not. It's a very complicated web every time speaking happens. And the so-called lie is like a bit of energy. It's a piece of energy that tries to hide while speech is happening, because lies have to be consciously told, otherwise they're not lies. It's a part inside of yourself that is trying to hide while words are coming out of the mouth. And very expert sort of people or lie detectors can read body language, and they can see hesitations, they can see, especially if they know the person who's lying or not lying, they can determine if they can literally see and feel that little spot inside of the person that's what's called the lie, and it's dancing around, ducking this way and that way, trying to hide behind this particular set of concepts, and then once it sees someone's coming to look for it, it jumps up into the sky. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what the actual lie is. It's just a hiding. It's just a hiding. That's all it is. And it's the only way that we manipulate. It's when we have that piece of ourselves, the sort of baseline energy essence, when that piece is unsure of itself, it feels the need to push or pull against other people. And when the other people don't want to do it, then it necessitates a lie to come out of the person who's trying to manipulate. So then words are coming out and being spoken, but that hiding element is still dancing around in there, and it's very easy once you've been through the gauntlet to see if someone's doing that or not. What's he talking about with respect to what? Are you talking about his latest tweets? What's up, New Yoda? YouTube binge day? Samir is trying to sell me something. I don't know what he's trying to sell me. Maybe he's trying to initiate me into a mystery school or something. I don't need a mystery school though. What's up, Nabob? Og was tweeting something interesting. He said, "Can you feel it? The sea is clear." He's talking about there's a certain freedom that you come into as multidimensional being that you're not always having to do this sort of elaborate evasion technique in every waking moment. I think that's what he's talking about. For me, it's still a level of trust building, I guess, because I'm so used to having to do this dance to survive, and to have that not be the case, or to imagine that that's not the case, is a departure from normalcy for me. Been angry? Yep. I mean, there's plenty of room for anger. The emotions need to be they need to be expressed rather than suppressed. And you don't need to worry about the population that is dead or the robot segment because they're not suppressing anything. They are patterns. A person is only real if they have some sort of flame inside of them, if they have some sort of light, some sort of active vibration. And anger is part of that. So is sorrow or sadness, annoyance. All these things are part of it. We got kind of programmed into suppressing them because of the sort of roboticism of the mainstream. And if you go out in the middle of the mall and just start screaming and dancing around, which of course would help if everyone would just join in with you, get everyone to come out of their houses and just start screaming and dancing and, you know, moving as a unit down the street, that would help a lot. But the problem is that includes foresight, that includes planning, and then thought police can come and find it. Like, the remedy for parasitic consciousness came from, in my view, it came from weeding out the precog thoughts for people that were too weak and got co-opted by this thing, because the precog thoughts were very slightly weighted in a negative direction, and it allows for the whole realm to sweep itself downwards if individuals aren't powerful enough to resist the subtleties of persuasion. It's like crowd psychology. It's very delicate stuff. If you imagine if a whole bunch of aware people were in a crowd and there was an entity that was wanting to sway the movement of the crowd, how would that look? Oh man. I mean, you could try to predict an emotion. I guess that would be precog emotion. But you're predicting via thought. You can't actually predict an emotion. You can predict the markers around an emotion. Their website, Roage, ROAGE.com. And then find in there the cheat sheet Mark V. That will give his little synopsis he's come to after, he says 30 years, but I don't know. What is his name? It's good. It's good work though. Like, the writing is very succinct. It's essentially Buddhism in layman's terms. Cheat sheet Mark V. Um, Did you get it, Gene? The universe is our friend. Don't be so serious. Build trust and rapport daily. That was the thing that I think he was trying to enunciate, was that the universe itself is, when you've gone deep enough into your own mind and your own experiential path, and you lose people on the outside or they're NPCs or whatever, they can't relate to you. Your your only friend at that point is the universe itself. And the universe itself is your friend because it has the knowledge of every single lifetime that has ever been lived inside of it. Your random average Joe or your parents or your girlfriend or whoever doesn't know. They don't have that information. But if you find a way of communicating with the universe, God, whatever, it doesn't matter, call it anything, higher self, if you establish some means of communication, then you will actually be guided. Otherwise, you're just having your limited ego self, which just runs around and gets angry and yells and screams and throws tantrums. That's all it does, and it keeps you in a loop. So you have to find some way of reestablishing connection to the divine, to the higher self, to that which knows the sort of infinity that you're subjected to. There's not actually confusion. There's no confusion. Confusion is only at the level of the condensed, contracted personal ego self. Outside of that, it simply doesn't exist at all. There is no suffering or worry or anything outside of the condensed, contracted ego self. Nature, yeah, nature. And if you're in the city, then the nature is just like bringing yourself back to the present. That's every much as natural as being out in the forest is. It's just in the city, then since you're surrounded by the noosphere of thousands of other people who are entrained to the machine mind, you are tended to get pulled into that. But if you can remain present, it doesn't matter. You're very much in the natural. Hey, Mandela. Yeah, the city is the storm. We're making some rock, roasting some beans. You don't have to find the eye. You can swirl around on the edges as long as you want. You're saying the city draws you back after you've been in the mountains for a while? When I was younger, we used to hike a lot, and after 5 or 6 days, inevitably I would start dreaming about skateboarding because that was my thing to do when I was younger. So it's not like for me being out in nature somehow solved all my problems. It just gave me a reprieve from the exact pattern that I was in before. And then, of course, that provides like grounds for new imaginings and new visions. How many houses, how many people, how many lives? Mm. You roasted them already? How long?
It's like between 12 and 20 minutes, I think. Depending how dark you want it.
Are you gonna make coffee like immediately, or does it have to dry out?
Now,
Yeah.
it has to cool, but then this is already the ground up beans.
Sweet. To feel what you want to in reality, either invite the right characters to your movie or embody that role yourself. There is no loss except those who continue to seek what they desire in the way in a ways that removes characters and continually degrades the roles. Yeah. The random threats of chaos, torture, suffering, deception, treachery, betrayal, etc., 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 won't work. It's all already been done. Thanks to that, the people who run that have no power. Yeah. Yeah, that's Og. Hey, buddy. Thanks, Texas. I don't know how to say your name, but hello. What's your actual name? Can you share that? Keep considering you and yours the anchor, not the noose, but the blameless game we shamelessly play to disable the anger of our youth. The rebellion from the never-ending betrayal of a dangerous betrayal of our way home to gain a stake in a world so undesired is painful. These people stalked me, broke my shit, and then tried to convince me that I would be safer if I basically just tried to convince everyone it was all lies and I made it all up. Yeah, it's a tricky, slippery slope. At what point does the external acting on you meet the internal being creating? At what point does that happen, and how does the outcome look? And what role is the observer playing? It's difficult. It's difficult to, I think, be in any form of disclosure. What's up, Daniel? Pissed off and drinking. Even if you're on like a remedial level course, like anything other than the entrainment, if you're on anything other than that, then it's essentially difficult because you're speaking in a language that the people around you can't understand. If you're a stalker, an abuser, a ritual abuser, a spammer, a liar, a deceiver, betrayer, sellout, shill, crap artist, etc., etc., you will hear the boom. What are you pissed off about, Daniel? Here's your spot to vent. You got an active participating audience. Yes. Too sexy for my shirt. Yep. Shirts are boring. Your scooter broke. That's why you're mad? It's a good reason to be mad. At least you still have it. At least someone didn't just steal it from you. Do it. Wield that power, Daniel. Take it off. Well, it's probably enough of that. They must not be notifying me. Someone's not notifying the people of my videos? No. No, not possible. Did you take your shirt off, Daniel? Did you? Or were you just threatening it? Hmm? Did you? It's of utmost importance whether you actually took your shirt off or not. Utmost importance. Click on the bell. Jay Marley. Jay? I don't remember a Jay Marley. How do I know you? Okay. All right, fair enough. Are you on the West Coast? Jay Marley on YouTube. Got you. Ah, you're on the other side. Nice. Go get some of that ocean with your shirt off. Burn it up.
You have to try it with no milk and no cream.
No milk, no cream?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yep, that's how you do it. At least the first taste.
This is Tanzanian coffee, right? So she got raw beans, yes?
Mm-hmm.
First time ever roasting raw beans?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have Tanzania, Honduras, and what was the other one? Brazil. Raw coffee beans. So we're gonna see if this is
You're supposed to try to like
mind blowing or not.
see if you can taste like the nuttiness or the flour or the dirt, whatever it is in there.
Tanzanian dirt.
It might be too hot for them.
It's a little hot.
Yeah, it's too hot. I'm gonna wait.
Don't turn into the Tanzanian devil.
Too late.
Yeah, too late. This is a little hot, but try it later.
It's really-
All right, Jay. I'm probably gonna sign off in a minute. Burn out the BS and the tongue. That's more my style. Well, I'm gonna take off, people. Thanks for hanging out. Go create something new. Stop looping. And so on. Talk to the universe. Bye-bye. Peace.